bet anywhere with TVG.
We have a very special guest
We
on
do.
the line. Yes,
Really?
a very special guest, two-time Kentucky Derby winning trainer, Doug O'Neill. Doug, thank you so much for joining us this morning on TVG.
Hey, Doug.
Hey, you guys, thanks for having me.
Of course. How you doing? I mean, obviously, we're all still reeling in the performance that Nyquist gave us in the Kentucky Derby on Saturday.
God, and we're all still, the whole barn is just going nuts. The energy that Nyquist gives us on a daily basis. Who needs sleep when you got Nyquist? I'll tell you, it's unbelievable. He's such an amazing horse.
Doug, after you won your first Derby with I'll Have Another in 2012, it seemed like it was pandemonium, euphoria, kind of going crazy. You did seem calmer to me when you were interviewed after you won with Nyquist. Was it because you've done it before? Was it because you're 4 years older? Was it because you were more confident going in? Your demeanor did appear to be a little bit different, more restrained.
God, I think all those things you said, I think were all played a part. I think definitely more mature. And, Nyquist had a better resume going into the Derby. So,
right.
He just gave us so much confidence the way he was acting and being undefeated. And then Mario, he's more mature. He was so ice in his veins type of mentality the whole couple weeks leading into it. So, and just the continuity of having all the same guys from 4 years ago. We're all together as a big family, and as we keep saying, when you've got that kind of unit, when things go south, you're able to share it, and it's only half as bad. And when things are going good, man, it's twice as good. So, just a great family there at the barn.
Did he run better than you even thought he would? I mean, the buyer came back big. The final time was sensational. He was part of those fractions early on, which were ridiculous. Did he even exceed your expectations going in?
I think every race, when you line up 20 horses, just so many goofy things can happen, and I think credit to Scott Jordan, the starter there at Churchill, and his whole crew. I mean, Scott, to get all 19 horses loaded in the gate in a minute and 40 seconds, that's just phenomenal. I mean, there's some crews that takes a minute and 40 seconds to get one horse in the gate. So credit to them, and because of it, it was a good, clean break. Even the Japanese horse, backed it up a little bit, but for the most part broke with the rest of them. And it was just a good, clean break. And then, Mario going into that first turn and Mike Smith flying into the first turn.
It was a perfect ride. It was a perfect ride.
It really was. I mean, when he took back off that crazy pace, it was just a perfect, that move right there is what gave us the energy down the lane that we needed. And, hats out to Mario riding in the Derby twice and winning twice. That's phenomenal.
Well, Doug, take us through those emotions as he's coming around the final turn. He's beginning to open up, but you see Exaggerator and Kent DeSormo. They're really eating up ground with every stride. What is the entire crew feeling right in those moments?
We're all kind of spread out around the track. Dennis was with my nephew Patrick, and my mom was upstairs with Tom Knuth and a bunch of people, and Lynette and I were with Paul and Zilla, and as soon as they turned down the backside, I remember saying to Paul, "God, I love where we're at. I love where we're at." But yeah, when he made that move, turn for home, and went a little wide and kind of accelerated past Danza Candy, it was just, it's hard to explain. It's like, this is unbelievable. And then you get that split-second thing that this is such a long stretch. I know Exaggerator's going to be coming. Where's the wire? Give me a wire. And but it is. It's such an exciting 2 minutes, and it's the 2 minutes that will, we're going to enjoy this for months, years, the enjoyment that Nyquist has given us.
But, Doug, you have to get into Preakness mode now. Now you get into Preakness mode. He arrived in Baltimore Monday night, and he went on the racetrack this morning, right? He went out for a jog?
Yeah, he went out for a jog, and Johnny Garcia went back home. God, he hadn't had a day off in like a long time. So Johnny went back to LA right after the race, and he's going back to Baltimore tomorrow. So Amir Cedeno, who's a great rider in our crew of riders, and so Amir, he was so excited and so pumped to be able to get on Nyquist and jog him one time, and Amir said it was just, he felt like he was in heaven being on his back and full of energy. Jack, who's the normal guy right alongside him, Jack said he looked and acted as great as he ever has. So, and Elias, his groom, you know, his feed that he fed him last night, he ate up everything, so his appetite's strong, his energy's good, and we're very optimistic about a week from Saturday.
All right, before we let Doug go, I have to ask him another racehorse.
Okay.
Doug, a lot of pressure on you at Santa Anita on Friday. I'm pretty good friends with Eddie Olczyk, and I know he's been excited about, he's a co-owner of Bork, who debuts. You're the conditioner, Mario Gutierrez aboard. Congrats, firster in race number 2 at Santa Anita on Friday. Yeah. Eddie's he's excited about this horse who debuts on Friday. Your thoughts before career start number 1 for Bork, named after Ray Bork, one of the all-time great hockey players.
You know, Bork is, well, first of all, just so cool to be training for Eddie Olczyk and Eric Johnston.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, these are just guys who are major, big-time athletes in hockey. So just being part of that is super cool. And Bork, he acts like a nice horse. You know, a lot of the Congrats fillies are all runners, and you haven't seen tons of the colts act like runners, but this guy acts like a runner. So we're fired up, but you never know, you know, what they're going to do in the PM. The AM doesn't always tell you. So if he brings the AM to the PM, there's going to be some high-fiving going on in Arcadia Friday.
But having the hockey name's a good start. Nyquist, now we go Ray Bork.
Yeah, I agree. You know, it's you know, the hockey. I love those athletes. I think we can all relate to them. They're just a lot of them are blue-collar guys who work hard, enjoy what they do, and a lot of ties with horse racing.
I'd love to know, have you spoken with Nyquist, the actual hockey player? I mean, have we had any sort of interaction?
Gustav?
Gustav, you know, we were supposed to do Janine Edwards with ESPN. Now I'm dropping names like I know. Me and Janine, but Janine Edwards had me on ESPN, and we were supposed to do a satellite feed from Russia or Sweden, where he's playing on the Swedish national team, and he had just scored the day before the Derby. He had just scored an overtime goal to win for Sweden. So we're supposed to do some type of dialogue, and the connection wasn't working. So, but that's the closest I've been to talking to Gus. But supposedly his English is really good, and I think he's really enjoying this whole horse racing thing.
He's got to be, right, with Nyquist.
Yeah.
On the way to hopefully a Triple Crown bid. Well, Doug O'Neill, thank you so much for joining us this morning, and best of luck with the Preakness and hopefully a Triple Crown on the line in the Belmont.
Enjoy Baltimore.
I love it. Sounds good. Thanks a lot, you guys.
See you, Doug.
See you later.